All right, peeps, let's talk about the conclusion. How do we write a conclusion? So we start with our happy triangle, right? We start with that thesis statement. That is the point of our essay. And we go broad. We're broadening the idea to include the world outside the text. So let's talk about the restatement of the thesis. Restating means rephrasing or rewording the original thesis statement, keeping the original idea. So here's a potential strategy for you. You can take a concept word from your thesis and you can generalize it. So let me give you an example. This one is from Finding Nemo. If your original thesis statement is Marlin develops into a more courageous character through obstacles he faces in the film, your restatement of your thesis could be that courage naturally develops from facing obstacles and defeating fears. Notice that the thesis statement includes the textual reference, but the restatement of the thesis does not. It is more general. It is a broader idea. It has the same idea here. We've got this idea of developing. Okay, we've got the idea of obstacles, but it doesn't specifically say anything about the text itself. It applies to real life. So, after the restatement, going broad. Once you've got your essay restated, you can broaden the idea to include the world outside the text. So here are some thinking ideas. Perhaps you remember that I have said that thinking means asking yourself questions. Well, if you aren't sure where to go with this, then here are some potential questions you can ask yourself to help you think about how do you go from this book to the real world and to real life. So first, what's the message learned about this theme? You've got this theme there. Now, what's important about the theme? What's the message about the theme? So this is the theme of the book. How does that theme apply to your real life, and how might you apply it? Another one is, how does the message relate to the world outside the text? Again, very, very similar to that first question. How does it relate to anybody else? Perhaps you can tie in current events. There are lots of current events right now that are going on about racism and about equality and inequality and injustice. If you can tie it to something like that, then you are making a solid connection, taking the idea of this book and going broad. And lastly, finally, another thinking idea is, what's the point of experiencing the Logan's journey? How does it affect a reader? That is the last point you want to take a look at. What's the point of experiencing the Logan's journey? Why does reading this book help us? What might it change in our thoughts and ideas and attitudes as we go out into this world and leave the 7th grade someday and abandon our favorite English teacher ever? All right, so last you to remember specifically that this particular essay is going to be in 3rd person. So after you write your conclusion, I want you to go through and make sure you're doing another reread at the close of your conclusion, and make sure you have no first-person pronouns. Those first-person pronouns are I, me, my, we, our, us. Okay? You also, no first person. You also want no second person. So that is no you, your, yours. So I want you to do another read through. Read what you've written, reflect on what you've written, and if you find anything in first person or second person, I want you to try to reword the sentence so that you don't have that, including in your conclusion. All right, thanks.